Welcome back, YouTube. After a crazy couple of days right here of everything just tumbling down crazy levels, even down to around 15,600 for Bitcoin, we got some good news coming in right now. As it appears that the channel we identified by connecting these top two trend lines, dragging that line down here, forming this channel here, identified the bottom where we would get a reversal right here, just right below 16,000, right around 15,700, 800, right through there. We did get our bounce. And now on the smaller time frames, Bitcoin is showing some signs right here of going parabolic. And that's some welcome news considering all the crap that we have been through over the last couple of days. But let me explain this. We had this trend line here going there. We traveled within that channel. We came out, bounced back into it. Looked like we were going to the downside. And that's what I was expecting. I noticed that, well, we've got another trend line forming here. We carried that, made a bottom. That's where we bounced. And now we're coming up toward the top of that trend line, somewhere around 18,800. Now, there's a possibility that we will get rejected there, or if we continue in parabolic motion, we will continue up right here to this level, around 19,500, continue up to 2,000. And if we can break above that and hold it, we're in a whole new ball game. So we've really got two scenarios that can play out for Bitcoin right now, one bullish and one that's basically bearish. And I'll go over those. But to do that, I've got to come back over here to our big BLX to kind of show what might be going on, because it's called a Wyckoff accumulation and spring as a possibility of what we're seeing. And if this does play out, this is extremely bullish. So this is what we need to keep our eye on. So stick with me as I break this down, the two scenarios that we could be looking at for Bitcoin. Road Dog Crypto. Welcome back to Road Dog Crypto. My name is Lane, your crypto road dog, trying to navigate through the craziness we've been through in the last few days. But I do want to make this argument and point out this scenario, what could possibly be playing out. We can look at it. Now I'm on the Brave New Liquid Index. It is not yet updated. It's still got prices down here around 15,000. Currently, we saw that we are right around 17,800, I believe. And so basically what I'm trying to outline here is essentially the same thing that we were looking at right here in this area. It's called a Wyckoff accumulation, and we had it beautifully set up. During this formation, not only did we get this rounding parabolic kind of structure in our favor, on the smaller time frames, our moving averages were crossing. Everything was looking beautiful. For a leg up, we were looking at retesting this area, and that would ideally have been it in the Wyckoff system, retest there and going up. And we hope to do that. And we saw the possibility that we could come down to retest these areas or as low as these areas and still get away with that. And of course, as we saw, once we broke that parabolic structure, all hell broke loose and we just essentially just lost all this accumulation here. But the big money was accumulating there, and that's important to keep in mind. As we start going down to these lower prices, who's selling? Who is selling over here? If everyone was buying over here, who is selling here? This is liquidations going on. So there's some massive things that were going on to bring the price down this far. That makes this a perfect candidate for the Wyckoff spring. This overall structure we're looking here is technically a Wyckoff pattern. In the shorter term, we were looking right here in this. Now we can still consider this for the spring, but it's really playing in more to this whole range that we've got ever since around June. So basically how this works is you have a zone right here, a bottom range and a top range, and it trades in there. They drive prices up, drive it down, and these bottom areas are where it is accumulated. And that's essentially it. It's the composite man, the big money, however you want to define them, the powers that be at the market, driving prices up, taking profits, driving it back down, accumulating, driving it up. And it's wash, rinse, repeat, but there gets to be a point in this range where prices are driven down as low as possible. Once they get there, they will spring back up. So here's the thing we're looking at. Here's the most important thing that I'm trying to get across. If we can come back up to these levels and hold them, 19,500, especially if we can break above 20,000 and hold that, that would validate as this being a potential Wyckoff spring, and we would be looking for some more upside over time and get up to this area about 25,000, putting 25,000 back on the mark. That's all on how this plays out. So basically, if we stay under 20,000 for more than a week, this is off the table. But if we can make it up here within 7 days and hold that $20,000 area, it's looking good for Bitcoin. That looks like this whole mess might have been a blessing in disguise and we got more upside. So that is the bullish scenario that I'm trying to paint out right here, giving you all the signs to watch for should that happen, because this really could be a blessing in disguise for us. Our other scenario that we're looking at This is where we're just coming back up here to retest these areas, and we can't make it above 19,000. I mean, this might be an area of rejection, maybe up to around 19.5. If we cannot hold those areas, this will be a bearish retest, meaning
if you just stumble across the channel, it's probably because somebody hit that like button before. And for those of you who hit that like button, comment, and subscribe, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
that we got more downside back to where we were, our new low, because that's essentially what this would be, a new low, and possibly lower. So the scenarios are we're heading down, and it may not happen all at once. It took a whole lot of selling and liquidations to get us down to this bar, and we just zoomed right back up. That's very bullish. Even in the scenario where it seems like the whole world's falling apart around us, that's bullish. We've also got some good things going on with the dollar, so we need to take that in consideration here, because the dollar on the daily chart, it has broken this very, very long trend line that we've had going on here since what, February of 2022. It is just now broken below it. This is our chance. We had a head and shoulders pattern here. This has got a measured move, which was take us down to this trend line right here, the dollar down to 103. If it does that, things are looking good for both the stock market and for crypto. That feeds into our scenario that we're talking about with Bitcoin as this being a possible Wyckoff spring, and we could be actually working on heading up over the next couple of months. So that's what we're hoping to see. That's what I'm going to keep my eye out for, but it's all really key right around here, around 19,000 as to what happens. If we can't break that, then we are looking for some more downward action. If nothing else, then we could be trading in a lower range and gradually going down. So really all depends on around 19,500 in that area as to what the future for Bitcoin will hold. Now, coming back to a shorter time frame, particularly on the 15-minute, it is looking nice. We got some parabolic structure going there, and we've got a chance to actually come up. Now, let's take a look at what it may do over the shorter term. So let me pull up our 4-hour. Let me clear this off just a little bit. I'm going to come down to my 1 hour right here, and I'm going to take a Fibonacci reading from the very top over here down to the very bottom. And now it has given me a point right here at 19,172 as a point where we possibly could get rejected. So a short-term time frame, we'll look for that. Now, if we break above that and hold it, that's bullish. That would give us more confluence that what we just talked about may be coming into play. So for the immediate short term, we're looking about 19,172 in that area of either getting rejected or going above. We get rejected, expect more downside. If we go above it, it's looking very, very bullish for us. I know I may be jumping around a little bit, but I'm going back to the daily here and taking a look at the indicators. MACD is still kind of working its way down. It's trying to curve to the upside. The one I want to really take a look at here is the RSI. We got that bounce that we needed. This is what we look for RSI to come below 30 and bounce back up above that dotted line. When it does that, that is a buy signal. Hopefully you guys did snatch up some Bitcoin and maybe a few choice altcoins during this big dip. Now on the daily, we can see that the VWAP here on Market Cipher starting to make its way up there, right? Money flow is in the red, but it's starting to make its way up. Stochastics come down, but now they've turned. So stochastics are moving on the way up. We are facing some potential movement to the upside. We still haven't got the green dot. Looks like we got just a little bit more to go before we get that on the daily. However, I want to point out that on the 12-hour, we've already got that green dot. We've already got the upturn on the stochastics. We've already got the upturn on the VWAP, and we got the money flow coming into the upside. That's your tip off about what we're going to see play out onto the daily chart. We look to those smaller time frames right below it to see how it's going to influence the next time frame. And that's what we got. We got some upward motion coming in for Bitcoin. So I'm expecting to see it come up. I'd like to see it come up at least this top trend line. That's the point we were just talking about right here at 19,500. We have got to come all the way back up and break back into this trend line in order to be bullish. 19,500, 19,600, that area, we've got to go there and hold it. So key area right here, whether we go up or down, that's what we got to look for. Hope this has been helpful for you, kind of soothes your nerves, gives you some hope for something to look for, because that Wyckoff spring is a real thing. We know that they've been accumulating. We know that what has happened has just been an unfortunate event involving pretty much a bubble market with leverage that is just, we had our capitulation. This could be the good sign we're looking for Bitcoin. And it's all key on 19,600 in that area, because we're either getting ready to take a sizable move to the upside, or we're getting ready to make a lower high and a lower low. One of those two scenarios. Until next time, my name is Lane, your crypto road dog, reminding you that even with the craziness that's going on, you are in crypto at the best time to get involved and change your life. Even if you don't trade, even if you're new to this, if you just dollar cost average, buy just a little bit every week, whatever you can afford, it will pay off in the next 18 to 24 months, and you will be so glad that you did. Until next time, be blessed, trade carefully, and remember, you got this.
I don't always like videos, but when I do, I always prefer Road Dog Crypto. Trade wisely, my friends.